What's going on, guys? Long time no see, I guess, but we're back to working on my Roadster, and today's project is going to be replacing my control arm bushings. Thankfully the ball joints seem to be intact and there's no excessive play, but the bushings right here could use a replacement. It doesn't seem like an overly difficult project. The only difficulty that I foresee is removing the actual bushings from the lollipops. And these lollipops I'm going to reuse, and I'm just going to press in new poly bushings. So for the replacement, I'm going to use these bushings here. They're made by Shift. They're the 95A bushings, polyurethane. I bought these from FCP Euro, as I do with most of my parts. Just because they carry all the brands and their prices are usually the best, plus they have lifetime warranty. So, needless to say, these are going to replace the old rubber ones in there. So here's what we have to work with. This right here is what I'm replacing. Now you can see there are two bolts, and then I'm gonna have to slide this bushing off of the actual control arm, and that part is probably gonna be a pain in the ass. Just because this piece is pretty old, but we shall see. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, obviously, because you always want to do these in pairs. So to start, we're gonna remove these bolts, and I'm gonna use my handy little impact driver with a 17mm socket, and let's see if it's up to the task. So first of all, of course, I had to use the vise, and basically each of these lollipops, they have this metal sleeve in there, and the rubber bushing sits inside. So I grabbed the Sawzall, cut the rubber part out, I cut the metal sleeve here, and then I just punched it out with the hammer and the chisel. Now I have my clean lollipop, and I'm just gonna install this polyurethane bushing inside. Once the old rubber bushing is out, this is ready to accept the new one. This is polyurethane, and I'm just gonna press it in. And the way this is installed is this circle piece, it goes towards the inside of the car. So this bushing is gonna sit here, and the control arm is gonna go through here. Should be simple enough. Okay, so for this step we're gonna press in the new bushing into the lower control arm lollipop, or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna lube it up with this lube that Shift has included, and then I'm just gonna press it in with the vise. And once that is done, I'm gonna put this thing in the car. I'm sure it's not gonna be as smooth, but let's see what happens. Okay, so right now I'm trying to reinstall this control arm here. And the challenge here, as I'm sure some of you have read up on, is that it's really difficult to line up these holes with these, these holes on the lollipop with these right here. It's going to take a little bit of manipulation of this control arm. But we'll see if we can get it in, and then we'll try a couple of different strategies here. I may have to use a hammer. Okay, I was able to get this lollipop in place and the bolts lined up, and the way I did it is actually without the hammer. I have a set of these punches here, and I picked the widest one, which is pretty close to the size of these holes here. So I was able to use that as a lever to round the holes to get it aligned. And then I put one bolt in, and then I was able to just squeeze the next bolt in as well. Now it wasn't as easy, but again, like if you can get a tool like this, like a simple rod or something like that, or a punch. That's probably the best way to get this in place. I actually ended up not using a hammer here, because if you use a hammer, then I think it can damage your ball joints, because they're not meant to go like back and forth. So yeah, you can use a tool like this punch here that I have. Thanks again for watching, and I know it's, again, not the best video, but gives you an idea on how to tackle this job. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments. You know that I always reply to those. And be sure to stay tuned. I have more projects here, and the next one, as you know, is shocks and springs, which you can already see here. I already have the new shocks in place, but that's going to be in the next video.